Okay, hi everyone. I'm so excited today because I finally get to talk about one of my favorite TXT eras in terms of photo cards, which is the name chapter Temptation. It's been a really long time since I last did one of my A Guide to Collecting TXT videos, and that's just because the jump between Fighter Escape and every other era is immense. The amount of cards we have shoots up astronomically. We have so many more lucky draws, so many more fan sign cards, so many more pre-order things, and it's just a lot to wrap your head around, especially in terms of finding out where all the outfits are from and making sure that all the information is as accurate as I can make it be. So this looks a little different to my previous ones because before I've done just a flat lay of all the cards and I've picked them all up one by one. However, there are way more cards for Temptation and I just cannot fit them all in frame. So what I've done instead is I've separated them all into piles, and I'm gonna set out the piles one by one and then talk about each individual card. So we have album cards in this pile, pre-order cards in this pile, lucky draws in this pile, and fan signs and broadcast card in this pile. As always, I'm going to talk about each card, give you the name, where it comes from, show you it up close so you can look at the texture, look at the tabs, all that stuff. I'm then going to tell you where the outfit comes from, so where we saw it, and then at the end I will put together like little screenshots of all of the concepts. So I'll sort them into concepts so you can see how many cards there are for a specific outfit and everything like that. There are, I think, either 34 or 35 cards for the name chapter Temptation era. This is not every single card you will see on a template. I have a few more off screen that I will show at the end in terms of non-photo card size pre-order things and signed postcard and everything, but these videos are just centered on the photo card sized items that you can fit in a 9-pocket page, which is why I only have these ones laid out. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to lay out my album photo cards. So for the name chapter Temptation, there are 6 different album cards that you can collect. There are 3 standard album versions, Daydream, Nightmare and Farewell. Then there is the compact / digipack / jewel case, whatever you want to call it, one which is called Lullaby. And then this is the first era that TXT did Weverse versions. Weverse versions are, I think, the equivalent of platform versions. They're basically like digital albums where you get like a QR code and you scan it on the Weverse Albums app and you get like a high quality version of the album, whatever. And there were 2 cards for that this era, meaning that there are 6 total. So this here is the Daydream card. This is the concept that dropped first, and it was, if you can recall from the era, the concept that essentially broke the internet because it was the kind of chests out version, I guess you could say. So it's the outdoor kind of walking in the woods concept. It's like a, I don't know how to describe the material of it. It's not completely matte, but it's also not glossy. It's sort of like an in-betweeny one. It's got a bit of a shine to it. And then this is what the back looks like. It is green with pink text on it. There are tabs on these cards. There are tabs on the corners. You can't really see the tabs too well, but there is a tab there and there's a tab there, and it's sort of the equivalent on all corners. As always with album photo cards of albums that sell like millions of copies, there are always discrepancies in terms of cropping. You should be okay for album cards. They aren't faked that often, but just kind of focus on texture. And as always, fakes are normally really easy to discern because the crop will be really off. They'll be super zoomed in or super disheveled, and the corners will be really weird. So yeah, this is the Daydream one. It obviously comes from the Daydream concept. I will throw up a photo here of the Daydream concept. It is a beautiful concept and a beautiful card. Next we have the Nightmare album, which was the kind of weird dystopian underground teddy bear one. I don't know how else to describe it, but that's what this one looks like. The back is pink with white text. The back colours match the colours of the album versions from which they came. So Nightmare is the pink album, so the photo card is pink. Again, it's that kind of half and half, more glossy than matte texture, and there are tabs on the corners and you can see them more clearly on the bottom here, or at least I can. There's one there and there's one there. And yeah, this card obviously comes from the Nightmare album. The photo book is filled with cards in this concept. And then the final album, standard album concept, which is actually my personal favorite one, is the Farewell album concept. This is the beach seaside, white shirts, whatever you want to call it one. And this is just a breathtaking Taehyun card in particular, but all of the farewell cards I think are really, really good. As always, that kind of half and half texture. The back of this one is green because this album is the completely green album. Daydream is like a darker green with the pink text on the front, whereas Farewell is a totally, completely green album. And again, there are tabs. You can see there's a tab there, there's a tab there. I have bought many copies of farewell cards for all members, specifically for him, and I have never come across a single fake, so you should be pretty safe in terms of the standard album cards. This is the Lullaby card, so as I said, this is the equivalent of like a digipack slash compact slash jewel case kind of situation. They are very common in K-pop groups these days. They are member-specific versions, so there are 5 versions, I guess, of the Lullaby album that you can collect, because inside each album there's only one member's pictures, if that's something you particularly care about. And it comes with 1 card. There's only 1 per member as well. And it looks like this. I don't know how to describe this concept to you. They're at the windowsill. It's like the whole being taken by Peter Pan thing. This is my personal least favourite concept, but you know, it's fine. I believe the backs are all different colours for the members. I don't have my OT5 stuff on me at the moment, but I will throw up a picture if I can find one. But Taehyun's is pink on the back, and it says his name and the name Chapter Temptation in the top. There are also tabs on these cards. There's a tab there, a tab there. They're quite easy to see on the back, and it is again that kind of half glossy, half matte texture. For every member other than Subin, you're totally fine getting this card. Subin's equivalent of this is the Glass Bunny card, which is bizarre to me that that card blew up in popularity. I pulled him about 5 times in my albums. I still have dupes of him somewhere. The Subin Bunny one, it's not necessarily faked, it's just expensive for some reason, but the prices are definitely dying down. He's an easy card to get. Please do not succumb to overpricing just because he has a freaking glass bunny in his hands. But yeah, that is the Lullaby version. So next, as I said, this is a first for TXT this era wherein they did Weverse albums. It comes with 2 photo cards. There are only 2 per member, so if you buy 1 version, you should have enough cards to collect 1 member if you do a little bit of trading. This is the first one for Taehyun. Again, same old texture, the glossy, kind of half matte, half glossy one. White on the back for Weverse version A, I guess. I hesitate to call it Weverse version A because it's just one Weverse version. It's not like there's 2 like with their newest comeback, there's just 1. But there are 2 cards, and there are some tabs on it at the bottom. You can see them on the bottom of mine, but they are on all corners. This photo card outfit comes from the music video for Sugar Rush Ride. Very good outfit if I say so myself. And then this is the final album card for the Temptation era. It is again another music video outfit card. This one is a little bit wild, I'm gonna be honest, but yeah, he's pretty little pink hair. Yet again, that kind of half and half texture, and the back on this one is green. I think the colours are the same for all members, so one of them has, so they all have 1 white back card and 1 green back card, and then this is the equivalent outfit from the music video. So that basically sums up the album cards for this era. We are now about to dive into pre-order benefits and everything else, which is absolutely insane because, as I said, they went crazy this era in terms of extra benefit cards, and it's going to be a wild ride. So I hope you enjoyed this piece because it's about to get ridiculous. Okay, so for Temptation, as you can see, there were 9 different store pre-order cards that you could have gotten. As I said, this isn't all the pre-order stuff. There are some bigger non-photo card size ones that you can get, but I will show them a little bit later if you're interested. But in terms of photo card sized, this is it. I say this is it as if it isn't a ridiculous amount of cards, considering we had 3 for freeze, but was it 3 for freeze or 3 for Fire Escape? Might have been 3 for Fire Escape, but anyway, I digress. This is the first pre-order card that was announced, and as always, it was the Weverse Global standard one. So if you pre-ordered the standard version, so Nightmare, Daydream, Farewell on Weverse Global, you would receive 1 of 5 holo cards. It is from the Daydream concept. As you can see, there are quite a few from the Daydream concept. So the front is glossy slash holo, I guess. And then the back is matte, and it looks like this. It says Weverse Shop on the bottom. The backs all look like this on a lot of cards, like the X. It's very generic. there are tabs on the bottom. But Weverse Global is so easy to get your hands on. There's just like a mass amount of them in circulation at all times. So this next pre-order benefit is actually a Japanese pre-order benefit. So this is the Weverse Japan standard pre-order card. So if you pre-ordered the album on Weverse Japan shop, you would get 1 of 5 cards like this. It is technically supposed to be a holographic card. The holo on mine is super weak, so you seriously can't, you can barely see it. I can see if I hold it at this angle, but I don't think it picks up on camera. So it is hollow / glossy on the front, I guess, and the back is super duper plain, like so plain, but it's also matte on the back. It's quite cardboard feeling, if that makes sense. I don't think it does. These outfits come from the 2022 Melon Music Award outfits that they wore on the red carpet. It is an absolutely flawless set. It is so good, and unlike Thursday's Child Weverse Japan cards, they're so affordable. The Temptation ones run up at about $3 to $5 each, I'd say, whereas the Thursday's Child ones can be so expensive. But you've got nothing to worry about when it comes to these ones because they're so cheap. I don't think there are any tabs on them, but holo cards are really hard to dupe, especially when the holo is as strange as this one is. Spotty, very faint. You'll be fine. So this one is the Weverse Global Lullaby pre-order card. So if you pre-ordered the Lullaby version on Weverse Global, you would get 1 of 5 selfies. And this is what the selfie looks like. It is in the Lullaby album concept yet again. The kind of weird outfit one. I don't know how to describe it. It's a really strange styling choice in my opinion. It is glossy on the front, matte on the back, and again it has that really boring back with the Temptation and the X on it. This card is the first non-Weverse one of the bunch so far, and this is from Yes24. Yes24 is a store that TXT use for pre-orders on occasion, and this is what the card looks like. The front is super glossy and the back is similarly super glossy. It says Temptation TXT on it. There are no tabs on it, however the corners are a bit choppy. They are rounded corners, but like very choppy corners. No tabs. The photo comes from the Farewell album concept. Obviously, these cards I find are actually quite difficult to come across. This was the hardest pre-order card for me to get my hands on during this era. For some reason, I don't know whether people just didn't order from it because it's not really that cute of a card in comparison to other options, but the thing with TXT is it's always easier to collect if you collect actively in the era, because the minute the era is over, the cards can just become so hard to come by, especially in this new era we live in, where there are so many pre-order cards, so many lucky draws, that people just aren't going to be buying from all the shops. So this one, which you literally can't see without the piece of plastic behind it, is the K-Town For You pre-order card. For some reason they did this weird see-through transparent kind of card. It is in the Nightmare concept. You can sort of vaguely see his little hoodie situation he's got going on, but obviously it's just a sheet of plastic. It's not like flimsy plastic, but it's still plastic. This is gonna sound really stupid, I know. The front is glossy, the back is not as glossy. However, because it is plastic, it means that there are no tabs on the corners. However, it's K-Town For You. It's everywhere. No one's going to be faking this. If you desperately want this card, I don't know why you'd want it. It's actually really but ugly, to be quite honest. It's fine. You can find it in many places. I just accidentally booped everybody over. Here we have the Music Plant pre-order card. Music Plant is another pre-order store that Hybe uses a lot for TXT, and they are infamous for their bizarre holo that they use on cards. I don't know if it's accurately picking up quite how holo this card can be. This one is super intense, like so intense. But anyway, it's from the Daydream concept. It's like glossy holo on the front and then glossy on the back. It's quite boring on the back as well. There are no tabs on these cards, as you can see clearly, but honest to God, no one has a chance in hell of replicating this because this holo is so bizarre. It's spotty, it's intense, it's like freaking everywhere, it's mad. This Polaroid style one is the Sinara pre-order card. So if you pre-ordered on Sinara, you would get this kind of Polaroid kind of style one. For the first time ever this era, there were 1 of 6 because there was a group card available for most of these pre-orders. I don't know what they look like. I did not collect them. But I'm pretty sure there's a group 1 available for all of these stores. Not Weverse, but like other non-Weverse shops. Unlike the Fight or Escape Polaroid style card, this one is literally just like... it's all glossy on the front, all glossy on the back, although they do attempt to give it a Polaroid style look. Glossy, glossy, glossy. No tabs, square corners, daydream concept. Sayonara. This is the UMS standard pre-order card. So if you pre-ordered the standard album on UMS, you would get this one. So it's technically a Japanese pre-order card. It's from the Nightmare concept. It is glossy on the front, glossy on the back. It's a really weird one. These cards are so cheap because it's really not cute in comparison to others. But that's that one. And then this one here is the Lullaby pre-order card for UMS. So weirdly, a lot of the time for store pre-orders, they only do standard pre-orders. So if you buy like the compact or digipack version, they don't have individual pops for them, but they did for this era. So this, if you bought the Lullaby version on UMS, you got this one, which is a black and white card from the Farewell concept, which makes no sense to me. It's the freaking Lullaby version. Why is it not a Lullaby card? But anyway, it's black and white, grayscale, glossy on the front. There are no tabs, but these cards, again, are so easy to get your hands on. The Japanese pops for this era are crazy easy to find because for some reason they're just really cheap. I think people just bought loads expecting it to be like Thursday's Child, where they were really hard to come by. But no, they're super easy. And that, my friends, concludes all of the store pre-order cards. We're now moving into lucky draws, which is where things get mad. I know I keep saying it, but honestly, the piles, they just get bigger. So the next section is all of the lucky draws that were available for this era. So across 2 stores for Japan and 2 rounds of 3 stores for Korean, there are 10 lucky draws total. The first 2 are the Japanese lucky draws. These 3 and these 2 are from round 1, and these 3 are from round 2. They were the same box standard stores of Soundwave, M2U and Power Station, and the only unique thing about them really is the introduction of the units, but I'll get to those in a moment. So this first card here is the Weverse Japan lucky draw for this era. This was the first time ever for TXT that their Japanese lucky draws were not raffled. This means that if you bought an album on Weverse Japan during the lucky draw period, you would guarantee get one of the lucky draws. For every era prior and every year following, it seems, they were raffled, so you wouldn't know if you were going to get one or not. So it like really was a lucky draw. But this is the first one. It is glossy on the front, glossy on the back, very boring back yet again. It is not plastic. That is the first thing to note. Lucky draws tend to be plastic. The Japanese ones are not plastic. They are cardboard, they are card, whatever you want to call it. The outfit obviously comes from the Lullaby version, strangely enough, and they are all holding glass animal versions of themselves, which is so freaking cute. Except for Subin, I think. I don't know whether Subin's cards got mixed up for his Lullaby and his lucky draw, because he's holding a glass animal in Lullaby, but he's not holding a glass animal in the lucky draw, and every other member is the opposite way around. I don't know, but he's holding a teeny tiny glass squirrel, which is just like the cutest thing in the freaking world. I love this card. They're all really cute, but this one in particular is really good. There are no tabs on it, by the way. No tabs on them. Glossy, glossy. This one is the UMS lucky draw. So for Japanese store lucky draws, it's usually Weverse Japan and UMS. Those are the 2 main providers of albums. So again, if you bought a UMS album in the lucky draw period, you'd get one of 5 of these. Exactly the same as Weverse Japan. Glossy on the front, glossy on the back, no tabs. These outfits are some of my favourite. These come from the comeback trailer. So like every new era, I guess. So for like the name chapter, the chaos chapter, they do comeback trailers, like concept trailers. This comes from the concept trailer, where it's just incredible. I have no words for it. It's like spoken word, choreography, Peter Pan infused. It is good. So those are the 2 Japanese lucky draws, and we're now moving into the Korean store lucky draws. So for the first round, this one is Soundwave. This is the first era for TXT, I believe, where the lucky draws are the thin plastic ones. So obviously before this, they were the super thick, like PVC plastic credit card thickness ones. These are the super thin, flimsy ones. So this is Soundwave. It is the farewell concept. It looks very similar to the farewell album card. It's just a selfie on the beach. But yeah, no tabs, very, very thin plastic, all fun and games. Glossy, well, it's weird, it's like matte plastic. I don't know how to describe it. Next we have the M2U round 1 lucky draw. So this is from the Nightmare concept. Again, plastic, thin plastic, glossy on the front and kind of glossy plastic on the back. The back is quite funky on this one, I'll be honest. Again, very, very similar to the album card, but it's still cute, and you can see the plushies really well on this one. And then lastly, this is the Power Station lucky draw for round 1. This is from the Daydream concept. It looks identical to A, the Daydream album card, and B, the Shopee pre-order card, like the fan sign card, which is crazy. But yeah, just the outdoor one, very bog standard back, no tabs, plastic. Now what made this round unique is that they came with unit ones. So there were 5 unit cards available, 2 per member, I guess. And the way that they worked is, I believe if you bought 3 albums, you got a unit lucky draw. You had to buy a certain amount of albums and then you would get sent a random unit lucky draw as well, which is really bizarre to me. But obviously I have Taehyun's, so his first one is with Yeonjun. It is exactly the same, just plastic, no tabs. They aren't the cutest, well, I mean, they're adorable. They are unit selfies, but they're not the most creative, like they're barely in frame. And what's really ironic is there are additional unit cards later in the fan sign sort of section, and the cards are identical. I'll show you. So yeah, Taehyun had a Taehyun and Yeonjun unit, and then his second one was this Unica unit. Again, very box standard. These aren't too hard to come across, I don't think. And then this here is the round 2 one. These are the round 2 ones. This is the Soundwave round 2 lucky draw. They're all the exact same texture. This one has a T on the back rather than the X. I don't know why my camera's doing that. There we go. This outfit, to my understanding, comes from Mama 2022. They perform in these outfits, I believe. They either perform in them and they accept an award in them, but they are from Mama. This next one is the M2U lucky draw for round 2. It looks very, very similar to this card up here because it is probably taken 2 seconds before this one was. It is from the comeback showcase again. This one also has a T on it. It is very cute, but it is also the same photo basically. And then the last lucky draw for this era is the Power Station round 2 one. This outfit is actually really nice because this outfit comes from the KBS Song Festival 2022, and they perform a banging version of opening sequence in it. You should search it. I will link it in my description because it is a good freaking performance. Again, no tabs, all plastic, blue, got a T on the back. Very simple. Subin has an eye patch. It's a whole thing. They're in leather outfits. It's an occurrence. And that concludes the lucky draw section. We're now moving on to the last one, which is fan sign and just a miscellaneous card at the end. And again, this pile is also freaking humongous. So these here are the last 9 cards for the era, and they are the 8 fan sign cards and the 1, I guess, broadcast card for the era. Obviously broadcast doesn't fit within fan signs, but I needed to throw it in because it's photo card sized anyway. Unusually, they didn't do any Yeezy cards this era. They tried a bunch of different stores. So we've got Shopee, Naver, DMI Muse, and Nanyi, which some of them have made appearances since, some of them have not. Very strange to me that Yeezy wasn't around for this era. There must be a reason why they weren't, but I don't know that reason. First card in this section is the gorgeous, breathtaking broadcast card. I love this card so much. You have no idea. As they've been doing recently, they just do 1 broadcast card for the entire era across all of their music shows, so they're not as expensive as the earlier era broadcasts are. As you can see, this is just another selfie from the comeback trailer filming. I really like how he looks in this photo. I don't know what it is about it, but it's got square corners, glossy on the front, glossy on the back, pink. I think all the backs are pink. I haven't seen the backs for the other members, but I'm assuming they're all pink. And if they're not all pink, they will have their names on the bottom of them. So if you're looking to get a broadcast card but you don't like paying broadcast prices, I would honestly recommend trying to hunt down one of the Temptation ones on Mercari Japan or on K-Twitter, because they are not that expensive in comparison to other broadcasts. I regularly see them for about $20 to $30. I think I paid £22 for mine, which is bargain for a broadcast card. But yeah, no tabs, spiky corners, beautiful selfies. You may be looking at this card thinking, haven't I already seen this one? And contrary to that, no you have not, because this is the Shopee card and it is in the Daydream concept. It looks identical to that Lucky Draw and the album card. He didn't really want to give us much variation this time round, but you know, we can't complain. Glossy on the front, glossy on the very plain back. There are no tabs on this, so good luck with it. The next three are various Naver cards. So this one here is the Naver Lullaby card. So if you bought a Lullaby copy of the album, you'd get one of 5 here. These cards are super interesting because they are cardboard. They are glossy on the front and on the back, but they are thick cardboard. Can you even see that very well? This is really thick cardboard. It's almost as thick and as sturdy as the plastic Lucky Draws are. But it is in the Lullaby concept outfit. It's very similar to the Lucky Draw one. They're very similar cards. He just doesn't have the glass animal, but you can tell they were taken milliseconds apart because the lighting is basically identical. But yeah, Lullaby outfit, very cute. No tabs, very round corners, like rounder than normal corners. So if you buy yours and you think it's fake because it feels like what a fake card is normally made of, you're probably fine because the cardboard is weirdly thick. And then for Naver Standard, they again did these hollow units. So this is the Yeonjun one. It is like a very nice hollow. It's like an oil slick kind of hollow. So it's glossy / hollow on the front and just boring on the back. But it's like an oil slicky looking hollow one. And if you compare it to the Lucky Draw unit, literally the same photograph. He's just changed his peace sign into a peace sign. It's funny, but it's not. Again, this is like a really thick cardboard. There are no tabs, but the corners are quite rounded. It's a very sturdy card. And then for Taehyun, his other one is obviously another Huening-kai. Hollow, round corners, no tabs, thick cardboard, just for the lols. This is the difference between the two. There is not one. I don't think he moved his face at all in between these photographs. I used to think he was winking in this one, but he's not. It could be the same photo. Exactly. He drives me nuts. So this next card is actually a brand new store that TXT did a fan sign with this era, which is Dear My Muse. They did 2 rounds of Dear My Muse, and this is round 1. Very cute. Glossy on the front with no tabs. Pink and glossy on the back. These outfits are so infamous because they are the 2022 Mama Award Show red carpet outfits. It's like a styling choice that was highly commended by people on the web. So when they appeared to do cards in this concept, they are very, very high. I don't say high demand, they're just liked cards because of that concept. This next one is also a brand new random store that they did, is Nanyi round 1, different fan sign. Really fun story. I joined a group order for this and my group order manager won the fan sign with Subin for it, which made my day because she's like one of my favorite group order managers ever. And I was like, I could have cried for her. I was so happy. But yeah, super glossy on the front, glossy on the back, very boring. Yet again, looks exactly like the Lucky Draw and the album card, but we move. No tabs on it. There aren't tabs on a lot of the fan sign cards actually, which is crazy because these are the cards that are susceptible to being faked, but not on the level of like the Lazada card from Freeze era. They're all pretty easy to get your hands on if you look around a little bit. Weirdly, Nanyi round 2 happened before Dear My Muse round 2. So this is Nanyi round 2, which is from the Nightmare concept. feel like I've not been saying where they're from, if they're album concepts, but this one is obviously from Nightmare. Looks very similar to both of the Lucky Draw and the album card. Glossy, glossy, glossy and very plain on the back. Not a single tab in sight, thank you very much, but he looks really adorable, very cat-like. I appreciate it. And then the last card that was announced for this era, Dear My Muse 2. This card honestly came out of nowhere. I saw no group orders for it, like barely anything. I think because it's a concept card and it's a really strange concept card, and it came at the end of a very overwhelming era. Not a lot of people actually wanted to buy this card. So it's probably going to be one of the hardest to find if you are back collecting, just because not a lot of people joined for group orders. But it's from the Farewell concept by the boat. It is glossy on the front, glossy on its good old boring back. Surprise, surprise, as you guessed, there are no tabs, but like, this card is just an anomaly. Came out of nowhere, but yeah, that is the last card that was available in the Temptation era. And with that, we conclude our little walkthrough of all of the cards. What I'm going to do real quick is just show you the non-photo card sized items that you might see on templates in terms of merch cards and stuff, and then I will do my usual concept spreads. So I'll show you all the cards in each concept. Before I fling up my first one, I just want to show you a photo of the Target card, which I can't find. It. This is the Target card. It is not included in the album ones because it is bigger than an album card. It will fit in a 9-pocket page, just not very satisfyingly, but it is from the Nightmare concept. It is like a transparency half and half kind of card, and that is that one. The first one I have to show you is this, which is the Temptation tin case card. You might be thinking, what the fuck is a Temptation tin case card? The Temptation tin case photo card set is a merch item that they dropped along with the green hoodie. It was like a merch collection that they dropped, and within it there was this tin case photo card set. They are really weird. They are kind of mini photo card sized. Mine is damaged, which is really quite weird. They're like half transparent, half not, so they're like whitish on the back, but you can still see through it, and this is what they look like on the front. There are 5 of them, obviously. I bought the set for some reason, don't know why, but I do love the tin case. The tin case regularly features in my storing photo cards video because it's where I keep my TXT cards before I store them, so every merch item has its use, I guess. I don't even know what to say about it. It's very weird, and it will go back into my merch section, never to see the light of day again. These next 2 are 2 non-photo card sized pre-order ones. I can remember the name of one but not the other. This one here, I want to say might be Music Korea, the Music Korea pre-order card thing. It's like a hollow postcard. It's actually quite cool. It's hollow on both sides, so it's hollow on this side, hollow on this side, very intense hollow. From the Daydream concept. I've never seen these things for sale anywhere. Like, if you want it, good luck. This is the Weverse Japan Lullaby pre-order benefit thing. It's like a hollow postcard. It comes in a holder thing that I no longer have. I don't know where I put mine, but yeah, it's hollow. You can't really, but you can kind of see it's hollow. There's a lot of hollow cards this era, but yeah, it's hollow. It's in the Lullaby concept, obviously, because it's a Lullaby pre-order card. What's really annoying is that the holder that these things come in leave dents in the corners. Do you see those little like semicircles on the bottom of this? That comes from the holder that they sit in. You'll probably find them everywhere if you look hard enough. I had a mass amount left over that I had to sell, so they're very easy to come by. And then the last one is the signed postcard. So this is the first era that TXT did signed albums, but the signed album was basically a postcard that they signed. So this is Taehyun's one. It's like a matte postcard. It's like a proper postcard, like you could write on it if you wanted. But what's really ironic is that these postcards aren't available as an inclusion anywhere other than in the signed albums. So first things first, you can feel pretty confident the one that you're buying, if you're buying it, is going to be legit, because there's no other way to get these postcards. And with that, that is the last inclusion that I have to show. I'm now going to do my concept spreads. So I will show you a flat lay of all of the different cards with their respective concepts, and then we can wrap this shindig up. So this here is the first of my 5 concept piles. There are obviously 4 album concepts and then a miscellaneous concept pile at the end. And this is the Daydream concept. And for the Daydream concept, there's actually 10 cards, which is a crazy amount of cards. I think off the top of my head, it is the most cards that TXT have ever done for a single concept before. I don't believe it's been matched. Real quick, the cards that we've got here are the Daydream album photo card, the Weverse Global pre-order card, the Music Plant pre-order card, the Sinara pre-order card. These 2 are the first round lucky draw special unit ones. This is the first round lucky draw. This is the Shopee fan sign, and then these 2 are the Naver standard fan sign kind of cards, the hollow unit ones. It looks really pretty when they're all together, which is why I love Temptation so much, because there's so much cohesion within the concepts. But this is the Daydream concept. So next up we have the Nightmare concept, and for the Nightmare concept there's only 5 cards of album photo card size anyway, which is really small compared to the last one. These are not organized in order when they came out like the last one was. I just wanted to show you all 3 selfies in one row so you can see how similar they look. I genuinely think they're all taken at the same time, just 2-second intervals between them because of how similar they are. So in this one we have the Nightmare album card. This is the round 1 lucky draw. This is the Nanyi fan sign card. This is the K-Town for You pre-order card, and this is the UMS Japan pre-order card. So very simple for Nightmare, but all quite cute, I will be honest. So next up we have the Farewell version. For Farewell there are 6 unique cards. There are 3 selfies, 3 concept cards. Yet again, I've just put them in one row so you can see how similar these cards all are. However, I am not complaining because I love this concept. We've got the Farewell album photo card. This is the round 1 lucky draw. This is Nanyi round 2. This is the Yes24 pre-order card. This is the UMS Lullaby pre-order card. And this is Dear My Muse fan sign round 2. I love the Farewell concept. It's possibly one of my favourite pages in my entire binder. So next up we have the Lullaby concept, which even though there's only 4 cards for it, which is quite sad, I actually really like it because they match really well, I guess. So we have the Lullaby album card up here. This is the Weverse Global Lullaby pre-order card. This is the Weverse Japan lucky draw, and this is the Naver Lullaby card. So last but certainly not least, we have the what I call miscellaneous concept page. There are 9 cards of like a miscellaneous concept / non-album concept, which works perfectly if you use 9 pocket pages because it's just a page in and of itself. So in this one we have Weverse version A and B, which are both music video outfits. We have the Melon Music Awards Weverse Japan card. These 3 here are all the comeback like concept trailer cards. I put them here so again you can see that they're all taken in the exact same location, just slightly different angles. But this is the UMS lucky draw, the broadcast card, and the round 2 lucky draw. Then we've got Dear My Muse round 1 from Mama. Then we have 2 performance outfits basically for the other 2 lucky draws. And yeah, with that we conclude my guide to the name chapter Temptation. As I said to start with, this is one of my favourite eras. I think all the cards are actually so freaking cute in this era. I think there's a really great variety. You know, if you don't care too much about pops, there's not the pressure to collect all of them because a lot of them have repeated concepts. But at the end of the day, they're all really cute cards because TXT members are all very adorable. And unlike previous eras, they're all pretty affordable as well because it was a massive era for TXT, like absolutely massive era. So there are a lot of copies of a lot of the cards everywhere. There are no particularly expensive ones like there are with previous eras, you know, like Lazada and Weverse Japan for Thursday's Child. They're all kind of a level playing field, which I think is really great. And yeah, that concludes this portion of my TXT guides. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful, or at least just been fun to look at all of these really cute different cards. And I will see you all very soon. Bye.